Hello friends, welcome to my channel. This is Charan. In this video I will show you in web API using jQuery functionality how to validate the file type before upload and save the files into a project folder. And here we got the output of that code. The file upload validation, the header tags, after that horizontal line, and below the horizontal line we have the HTML elements, the file upload controller and the button controller. Now let's select the choose file, and notice here we got the image files only, because in our file upload controller we add the property called accept only the image files. So what I'm doing, first I am selecting all files. Our condition is I want to save the files only the GIF and JPG files only. Now here I am selecting the text file GH, which is a text file, open. See here we got a message only JPG and GIF files are allowed. Now I am adding some GIF files. See, notice here again we got the image files option here. And so let's add the tables, which is a JPG file, open. Now before insert these tables.jpg files, we'll check the tables for our project folder, show all files. In the images folder it's empty right now. See, this is empty. Let's insert this tables.jpg files, upload files. So here we got a message, file saved successfully. Let's check. In the images folder, show all files. See here we got the tables.jpg. Now let's add the GIF file this time. Choose file, and GIF file is loading image, open, upload files. The file saved successfully. Let's check. Right now this images folder got tables.jpg. Again show all files. See here the loading.jf. That's it. We have implemented the file upload validation in web API using jQuery. If you are a first time visitor to my channel, please subscribe to get the latest updates. For this video tutorial, I am creating a web API project. Go to file, new project. And from the web templates, I'm selecting ASP.NET Web Application, and the .NET Framework I'm using 4.6.1. The application name is Web API File Validation with jQuery. Click OK. And from the ASP.NET templates, I'm selecting Web API. Click OK. And the project is created successfully. Let's close this default window. Now open Solution Explorer. Now in this project, I'm creating a new folder to store the files. Right click the project name, add new folder. The folder type I'm giving images. Now in this images folder, I want to save only the GIF and JPEG files, JPG files. So after adding the images folder, the next step, let's create a API controller in this controllers folder. Right click the controllers, add, select the controller. I'm selecting Web API 2 controller empty, add. The controller name is file upload validation. Is the web API controller name. Click add. And here we got our controller, file upload validator controller. First in this API controller, we'll add the necessary namespace to upload the files. I'm adding first one using system.io namespace, and the second namespace using system.web namespace. After adding these two namespace, now in the API controller, public void file validation This is the HTTP post. We are posting the data to save the image files. Now in this function, I'm adding if HTTP context dot current dot request dot the files property dot all keys dot any method. Let's create a key variable image file http context dot current dot request dot files. In the files between double quotes, I'm adding the upload image files is a key name semicolon. Now if image file is not equals to null, here in this if condition, the image file is not equals to null means we are already selected the file with the file upload controller, and that selected file I want to save in this images folder. So variable save files is equals to path dot combine method http context dot current dot server dot map path, and map path, this method takes a string parameter. The path is tilt between forward slashes. I am adding the folder name, which is the images folder. Right click the rename. Let's copy that one, paste here, comma image file dot the file name I want to save. After that, we'll add the save method, image file dot save as. In this method, I'm adding save files, this variable name. That's it. We have written the code to save the selected files into this images folder in API controller. Now I want to consume this API controller in jQuery. Now before consume this API, we require the URL of this API controller. So let's grab that one, Google Chrome, and here we got the default output of that project, which is a home page. Now we require the web API URL. So after the domain, the host, I'm adding API /. Let's add the web API controller name, which is the file upload validation. This is the web API controller name. Let's add that one. Enter. And here we got the results of this web API. It shows in some error message, the requested resource does not support HTTP method get. The reason we are implementing the method post, HTTP post method. So don't worry about this error message. We just require this web URI, the path name. After that, switch back to the coding part. Stop debugging. Now let's add a HTML page to the project. Open Solution Explorer, right click the project name, add. I'm selecting HTML page. The item name, the page name is file upload validation. Click OK. And here we got our HTML page with some default HTML5 code. Now between the header section, we are implementing jQuery functionality. So we require the jQuery reference link. Open Solution Explorer. In the project, there is a scripts folder. Expand that one. And notice here there are some jQuery files. We require the jQuery 1.10.2.min.js. Just drag and drop on our HTML page between the header section. After that, in the body, let's add the center tag h1 file upload validation client side. using jQuery. It's to web API tutorials. Horizontal line after that. Now after the horizontal line, I'm adding a table element. Table border is equals to 1. Let's close the table, and in this table I'm adding tr td select file. The second td, I'm adding the simple HTML file upload element. So open toolbox. In the HTML folder there is an input file, which is a file upload controller. And now I'm adding the property accept. This accept property image / star symbol, and this accept property, it forces the dialog box to open only image files, to show only the image type files only. So after that, I'm adding another tr. Now in this tr, I'm adding td. Now in this td, I'm adding a simple button control. Input type is equals to button, and id of the button is equals to but1, and value of the button upload files. And after the table, I'm adding a simple span tag to display the message, the validation message. The span id is equals to span1. Let's close the span tag. This button control. That's it. We have done the designing part. One file upload control and simple button control and span tag to display the validation messages. Now it's time to implement the jQuery. Now in the script, I'm adding script tag. Inside the script, $document dot ready function semicolon. Now in this ready function, I'm implementing to save the files into the images folder. So between double quotes, I'm adding the id of the button control hash but1 dot on click on. The event is click event, comma function. Now in this on function, I'm creating an object, the form data object. The form data objects is helpful to append the files. So variable data is equals to new form data is a method. Variables files upload is equals to $. Between double quotes, I'm adding the file upload id, which is a file1 hash file1 dot. The get method is the number of index of only one file I'm adding dot files. If files upload dot length is greater than 0, which means we have selected the file, and that selected file I want to save the images folder. Data, the file data object dot append method. Now in this append method, I'm adding the object name between double quotes. This one, the key name, upload image files from the web API, comma, and the object value we are getting from this files upload. So array. Now let's add the AJAX methods. $.AJAX add the semicolon. Now in this AJAX method, let's add the properties. The type of the method I'm adding between double quotes, post, comma. The next one is the URL column between double quotes. Here the URL is the web API URL, which is this one. Let's copy this one and paste here. Semicolon, not the semicolon, it's a comma. Now after that, let's add the two more important properties. One is the content type. Let's make this false, comma, and process data, both must be false. Data, colon, data. After that, dot, then function, now in this function I want to display the message the files are uploaded successfully or not. Dollar, between double quotes I'm adding hash. The ID is a span one. Copy this one and paste here. Dot text. The text is a method takes a string parameter. File saved successfully. And I want to display this message in a green color. Dollar, between double quotes, hash, span one, dot, CSS method, between curly braces, the color, colon, again single quotes, the color I want to display the green color, semicolon. Then I want to clear the file upload control. Dollar, between double quotes, hash, the ID of the file upload control is file1, dot, the value method is empty. That's it. In this jQuery we return the snippet to save the files functionality. Now let's add the functionality to validate the files. Now in the same script function I'm creating a function validate type file is a function name. I'm adding the object image file. Now the image file types, the extensions, variable extension is equals to image file dot split method, between double quotes, dot. The split function is used to separate the extension files with comma. After that, extension is equals to extension dot the extension length -1 dot to lowercase method. Now the type of the images I want to validate, variable image type is equals to, let's add the array JPG, comma, between double quotes I'm adding GIF, semicolon. After that, if the condition, if the selected file is other than the JPG or GIF, I want to display the error message. In this span ID, image type dot, the last index of method is double equals to -1. The last index of method, if you found -1 means the file extension is not found, the -1 is. Then I want to display the error message, dollar, between double quotes, hash, in the span 1 dot text method only JPG and GIF files are allowed, semicolon. And I want to display this error message in a green color, so instead of writing the same part, I'm copying this part and paste here. So I'm deleting the green, I'm adding the red, and I want to clear the file upload control. Now the last step, we need to add this a function name validate type file. In the input type file, on change is equals to the method validate type file, this dot value. That's it, we have done the complete coding part. Now it's time to check the results. Google Chrome, and here we got the output of that code, the file upload validation, the header tags, after that horizontal line, and below the horizontal line we have the HTML elements, the file upload controller and the button controller. Now let's select the choose file, and notice here we got the image files only, because in our file upload controller we add the property called accept only the image files. So what I'm doing, first I am selecting all files. Our condition is I want to save the files only the GIF and JPG files only. Now here I am selecting the text file GH, which is a text file, open. See here we got a message only JPG and GIF files are allowed. Now I am adding some GIF files. See, notice here again we got the image files option here. And so let's add the tables, which is a JPG file, open. Now before insert this tables.jpg files, we'll check the tables for our project folder, show all files. In the images folder it's empty right now. See, this is empty. Let's insert this tables.jpg files, upload files. So here we got a message, file saved successfully. Let's check in the images folder, show all files. See here we got the tables.jpg. Now let's add the GIF file this time. Choose file, and GIF file is loading image, open, upload files. The file saved successfully. Let's check. Right now this images folder got tables.jpg. Again show all files. See here the loading.gif. That's it. We have implemented the file upload validation in Web API using jQuery.